गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। आज हम ब्रीथिंग एंड एक्शन ऑफ गैसेस में जो एक टॉपिक है रेस्पिरेटरी ऑर्गन्स दैट वी विल स्टडी टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू एक्सप्लोर हाउ डिफरेंट लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स ब्रीथ. As you know, the living kingdom has diverse and fascinating ways to action gases. So as we know, there are a number of organisms, so they have different respiratory organs also. So let's discuss them. The specific mechanism of breathing changes widely among different groups of animals, mainly based on two things, that is habitat and level of organization. Habitat means where the animal lives, and the level of organization means how complex the animal is. So based on their habitat and level of organization, different groups of animals have different respiratory organs. Let's start with the simplest organisms like unicellular organisms like amoeba, paramecium, porifera known as sponges, coelenterata including hydra and jellyfish, platyhelminthes known as flatworms. They exchange gases through their plasma membrane or body surface. They use direct diffusion, means action of gases according to concentration gradient. What is the concentration gradient? Means gas moves from higher concentration to lower concentration. So gas action occurs via simple diffusion directly across the cell membrane or general body surface. Oxygen dissolved in the water simply passes right into the cell because the concentration is lower inside, and the carbon dioxide exits the same way. Okay, it is simplest, efficient and perfectly suited for all their small size and aquatic lifestyle. बच्चों आप देखो, यहाँ देख पा रहे हो, यहाँ पे एक अमीबा का डायग्राम दिया हुआ है. देखो बाहर ऑक्सीजन का कंसंट्रेशन ज्यादा है, सो अकॉर्डिंग टू कंसंट्रेशन ग्रेडियंट ऑक्सीजन मूव्स इनसाइड थ्रू द सेल मेम्ब्रेन. दिस इज नोन एज डिफ्यूजन. एंड एज यू नो, क्योंकि सेल रेस्पिरेशन होगा तो CO2 बनेगी, तो CO2 का कंसंट्रेशन कहाँ ज्यादा है? बॉडी के अंदर. सो अगेन इन द सेम मैनर CO2 बॉडी के बाहर मूव करेगी. ओके. Now what happens when an animal gets a bit larger but still don't have any complex respiratory organs? Then they use cutaneous respiration. That is, cutaneous respiration means respiration through skin. Okay, bachcho, for cutaneous respiration to work, the skin cannot be thick or scaly. The skin must be thin, permeable and moist. Why moist? Because gases must first dissolve in the moisture before they can diffuse across the skin and into the underlying bloodstream. This type of respiration you can find in the annelids like earthworms and in amphibians, frog. जो इसी चीज को हम डायग्राम के थ्रू समझते हैं. As you know, earthworm की जो बॉडी सरफेस है उस पर एक मॉइस्ट लेयर होती है. दैट इज मॉइस्चर मीन्स वाटर. ऑक्सीजन का कंसंट्रेशन आउटसाइड एनवायरनमेंट ज्यादा है, सो फर्स्ट ऑक्सीजन बॉडी में डायरेक्ट जाने से पहले कहाँ डिसॉल्व होगा? जो मॉइस्चर लेयर है अर्थफॉर्म के ऊपर, उसमें. देन द ऑक्सीजन फ्रॉम द मॉइस्चर लेयर गेट इनसाइड द बॉडी सरफेस. हियर आल्सो डिफ्यूजन वर्क्स, दैट इज मूवमेंट ऑफ गैसेस अकॉर्डिंग टू कंसंट्रेशन ग्रेडियंट. और सेम वे में CO2 जो बॉडी के अंदर हायर अमाउंट में है वो फर्स्ट डिसॉल्व होती है. कहाँ पर? फर्स्ट डिसॉल्व इन द moist layer of the skin, and then from there it is action with the atmosphere. Clear? Now let's move on invertebrates, specifically insects like cockroaches, grasshopper, ants. They use completely different system called tracheal respiration. That is respiration through tracheal tubes. Insects don't use blood to transport oxygen. Instead, they have a unique system of air-filled tubes called tracheae that deliver oxygen directly to the tissue. This tracheae branch into more finer tubes called tracheoles that penetrate deep into the tissue and terminate right next to the individual cells. देखो बच्चों, यहाँ डायग्राम में देखिए, जो insects हैं उनमें respiratory organs tracheal tube है. See, this is outside, there is an opening which is known as spiracle. Okay, फिर this is trachea. Again, trachea is divided into finer tubes which is known as tracheoles. So air यहाँ से move कर रही है, ट्रैकिक से होते हुए ट्रैक्यूल में जा रही है, एंड ट्रैक्यूल के बाहर वहां पे जो स्किन है वहां पर ऑक्सीजन डिलीवर कर रही है. एंड हियर ऑल्सो द मूवमेंट ऑफ गैसेस या एक्शन ऑफ गैसेस ऑकरिंग थ्रू डिफ्यूजन ओनली. हम ट्रैक्यूल ट्यूब को इस तरह भी कह सकते हैं कि एक इट इज लाइक अ डायरेक्ट वेंटिलेशन पाइप. हाउस के हर रूम में फ्रेश एयर डिलीवर कर रहा है. ओके. Okay, now when we think of a life underwater, then definitely gills comes in our mind. So respiration through gill is known as gill or bronchial respiration. Gills are highly vascularized outgrowth of the body surface adapted for aquatic respiration. Here, vascularized means they are packed with blood vessels. As water flows over the gills, they extract the dissolved oxygen from the water and pass it directly into the blood. Type of respiration you will see in invertebrate gills like crustaceans, prawns and crabs, mollusks, pila, octopus, echinoderm, starfish. And vertebrate gills, fishes and larval amphibians, tadpoles. This you must remember. Okay, यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? Water enters through mouth. Then it passes over the gills. Gills are highly vascularized, means they have lots of blood capillaries. So the dissolved oxygen through diffusion go inside the blood vessels and carbon dioxide exchange into the water by the process of diffusion only. Then water exits the body through operculum. Next, we have two uniquely shaped organs found in certain arthropods, book gills and book lungs. They get their name because their structure consists of many thin plates arranged like the pages of book. That's why they are called as book lungs, book gills. Book gills are found in aquatic arthropods like the horseshoe crab. Because they live in the water, their medium of respiration is water, and they feature external leaf-like plates arranged in a book form to handle aquatic respiration. On the other hand, book lungs, they are found in spider and scorpion. They are adapted for land respiration. Since they breathe air, these plates are tucked inside the body as internal membranous plates, which prevent them from drying out. This is the figure of book lung, and this is the figure of book gill. Now, the most complex respiratory method, that is pulmonary respiration, which means respiration through lungs. Lungs are vascularized internal sac adapted for atmospheric respiration. Vascularized means packed with blood vessels. This is dominant form of respiration for terrestrial vertebrates. This type of respiration you can find in amphibians like frog, which use lungs when they are on land, reptiles, birds. Birds have specialized avascular air sac connected to their lungs to give them a continuous supply of oxygen during flight. Mammals represent the highest level of development. They contain millions of tiny air sacs called alveoli, creating massive surface area by highly efficient gas exchange. Okay, bachcho? So these are the all respiratory organs which we can find in different groups of animals, from smallest organism to highest complex organism. So based on this concept, let's attempt some questions which are asked earlier in different needs exams, yeah, in different medical exams. First, skin is accessory organ of respiration in humans, frog, rabbit, lizard. Okay, the answer will be frog. Frog can breathe through their skin, especially when they are in water or damp places. Okay, second question, see, during summer sleep and winter sleep in frogs, gaseous action occurs through lungs, buccal cavity, gills or skin. Answer will be skin. When frog undergo estivation means summer sleep or hibernation that is winter sleep. They remain inactive underground and their moist skin fulfills all their oxygen needs. So answer will be skin. So in the frog we have seen three types of respiratory organ that is skin, gills in tadpoles and lungs in adult. Third question, earthworm respires through simple gills, trachea, moist skin or lungs that is moist skin, cutaneous respiration. Fourth, in insects, respiration occurs through book, lungs, tracheal system, skin and gills. Insects, so tracheal system. Book lungs are found in, as we have just studied, brown, cockroach, scorpion and earthworm. So answer will be scorpion and scorpion have book lungs. Now sixth question. Given below are four matchings of an animal and its kinds of respiratory organ. So here four options are here. We have to find the correct matchings. So first is the silverfish. Now to solve this question, you must have the good understanding of classification. Silverfish, it's an insect. So insect have trachea for their respiration. So this we right. Scorpion, as we have just studied, poke lungs. Right. Sea squid, they are chordates and use pharyngeal gills. Right. Dolphin skin. Oh, dolphins are the mammals, so they breathe through lungs, not skin. So this must be wrong. So correct matching will be B. A, B and C. Okay, बच्चों. So thank you very much for watching. I hope ये आपको आपकी preparation में help करेगा. Notes same chapter के I have attached in the description. Please download it from there and study.